Hi FlossTube Stitchers. If you watched the previous video, which was a Bent Creek customer exhibit slideshow, then you'll recognize the scene behind me. This is the main area where we have the Bent Creek models on display this month. And there's a table back there that has a free chart and some other models and more of the Bent Creek consignment merchandise. And I thought I should film from this angle today because we will never have that same situation going on behind us with the Bent Creek models. A lot of them will stay. They're on loan from regular customers who get a discount for leaving their models on display all throughout the year. And a lot of times they just take them home for the holidays. And many are mine and my framers, but we will put them into different vignettes and displays throughout the shop. We don't normally make a habit of putting all designers' things in one place. We usually do it by theme or holiday or season or what's new, that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm filming in front of the Bent Creek display today. My vintage stitch was something that I believe I discovered recently when we were packing up the shop in preparation for the new carpet. And I was so happy to find it because I've had a snowman pillow also from Pine Mountain Designs, and I didn't have the pillow part to put inside. I only had the form or the sleeve, whatever you want to call it. And so I haven't been putting that out for the past couple years because I didn't know where this was. And I looked at last year's video where I shared my Halloween at home, and this wasn't in it. So I'm pretty sure I just discovered that within the past couple months. So it has a really pretty quilted pillow form that goes inside, and then you just retie the, actually I just take off one side, slide it off, and then I only have to retie one ribbon each time. But you can use it for all the different seasons and holidays if you have this series. And this was a pre-finished sham form, whatever you want to call it, that had 10 count. This looks like, it looks like either Betsy, no, I think it's Heatherfield because it doesn't feel as stiff as Betsy Ross. And I think they used a lot of Heatherfield when they made these kits. And I thought maybe it was stitched with 4 strands, but upon closer look, I think it's only 3. But anyway, I'm sure it was a really quick stitch at the time, and I was happy to have found it. Then we have 2 new shop models, and one, of course, you saw in the Bent Creek video, but here's a close-up of Fright, which is part of their word series, where they so cleverly keep the letters in the same alphabetical order in the design, which sometimes you have to look at it to figure it out, but I always thought that was really a unique feature of their alphabet samplers. So that's really cute. And this is by Kate Fulton, and she finished it into an easel. And I believe she did it on the 32 Dirty Belfast that it called for it, because it looks like it. And then we have the Cross Stitch Wonders A Year of Mugs October, and this is on loan from Carol Leonard. She just loaned me 2 or 3 that she just completed, so I know I have not shown this to you before. Well, I showed it on social media yesterday, I believe, but I haven't shown it in a FlossTube video. And she stitches these on 14 Ada, I believe. And the tip I wanted to share is that a lot of times you pick a frame or, find a frame or buy an inexpensive frame that's not quite deep enough to put glass and spacers in. But you can still make it work because there are several styles of these turn buttons. And this is one that really allows the foam core and maybe the backing board to stick out a little bit in order to fit the glass and spacers in there. These are silver. The other ones, I meant to have one handy to show you, but I don't. I know I've shown you before. The other ones are gold and they're a little more flat. So you can see this is kind of like a little shelf sitter. So I just wanted to point that out because if you do any of your own framing and finishing, you might not know about those. So I'm sure they're available at the framing departments of the chain stores or even at hardware stores. So don't let that stop you from keeping the glass in if it's something that you want. Maybe for a seasonal piece, you know, you don't need to have glass on it because it's only going to be out for a little bit. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that. It was evident to me when I was changing this out from the previous month that it was different from, Carol has a black frame and a brown frame. And this one was a little less deep. And so this has the little shelf sitter turn buttons and the other one has the regular brass ones. Okay, then it seems like I should have shown this to you already, but it came really late. So I had to reach out to Atomic Ranch because my September automatic hadn't come and I didn't get a tracking number. So I wasn't sure if he was just running late, if something had gone wrong on his end. And he had no idea. So he checked on it and it was sitting in his post office in Kansas for 2 weeks, hadn't moved, and they had no explanation for why. So in the long run, it may have been a blessing in disguise because the week it would have come was the week I got the carpet. So it would have been just one extra stressful thing that I was trying to do in a timely fashion that week. So I'm kind of glad it was late, but it kind of mixed me up because I had to go back and double check whether I had actually shown this to you or not. So the color for September was pistachio, and I only have 4 counts left because during the tour and earlier this month, I believe people bought some of the other extra fabric that I had. But I'll show you the 20 count Aida out of the bag. I think this is the darkest of the ones I have left. Sometimes the Aida is darker. A lot of times the Lugana is lighter or less mottled. So this is the 32 Lugana, and this I believe is the lightest, but very pretty. It also, besides being good for Halloween, it would also be good for spring and Easter and, you know, maybe baby things. So I think it's a good color. That might have been considered his neutral. He's been doing half neutral and half colors. So that was a neutral because actually greens can be neutral. Then we have 36 Edinburgh, and it has a little more variation that you can see from the other two. And then we also have 40 count linen, and it's pretty similar to the 36. So those are available if anybody's interested. And then we just got the October one, and all of those packages are probably going out tomorrow. And what I have left of Moonstone is 18 Aida. This is very similar to Weeks Dye Works Navy, which is not their darkest blue. So it's not like a true dark, you know, when you're looking at clothing, navy is usually darker, and this is maybe more like an Americana blue, but it actually matches up to Weeks Navy. And this is the 20 count Aida. And then these are very similar. So I have a piece of 28 Lugana and 32 Lugana. And the linen, I think, brought out some of the darker tones. So this is 36. And then the 40. I feel like the 40 looks a little more cosmic, if you will, than the other ones. Maybe more of the smaller shade differences. But anyway, very pretty. I could see winter, snowmen, Christmas, patriotic, animals. So I think that's a really good color to have. It's called Moonstone. Oh, and speaking of fabric, the 2 winners of the Grace Notes Fabrics giveaway from their trunk show were Bonnie Sheffer, who got the 14 count Leo, which was a really pretty blue, and Charlotte Jorgensen got the 28 count linen in Strawberry Latte. And actually those packages already went out, so I don't have the fabric to show you, but I showed them in a previous video. Okay, then we got some automatics. Hands-On Design has Gather Moments from their Gather Memories series. And Gather Pine Cones. Let's see, yes, this is the 4th and last of their seasonal gathers. And then Winter Folk is, I believe, the 4th and final season of that series. And then Between Friends is her collaboration with Beth from Summer House Stitchworks. And this is a really pretty sampler. And I'm just gonna, I know you've seen these online, and you can go to either Hands-On or Summer House Facebook pages or Instagram and see these. I don't want to risk showing you a pattern. So I'm just going to show you the back cover, which has some of the smaller projects. So if you like to do a lot of different things, there's some applique and some pillow making and little 3-dimensional pumpkins. So it's a nice book for $28. There's quite a few. Let's see, how many does she? Actually, this is the 3rd of this series, so we still have winter to go. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. There's like 8 projects or something in here. So that was Hands-On Design, and then Plum Street has 2 samplers. Let's see. This is a new one. Grateful and Willing. And then this one was, yeah, this one was from a retreat. So this is from 2023. It's called Real Comfort. And then she has 2 more in her Animal Stack series, specifically for Halloween. Fig Folk, which are bats, and Jump Clump, which are extremely hairy spiders. Then With Thy Needle and Thread, these are all Christmas. We have Candles of Christmas, Christmas Swan, which is part of a series, but another customer and I discovered that they are not all the same size. So unless you do some creative finishing, they won't fit in the same frame or board or whatever you might do, because they're different stitch counts. Some of them say something underneath the season maybe. So you could always fix that. Once you get all of them, you could figure out how to make them all fit in the same thing, or put a word or leave off a border or something like that. I always think when something, of course, this is Christmas, not a season, but we looked at the other ones and they've all been different so far. But it's funny because sometimes the designer doesn't realize they're doing a series, but we immediately jump on it and say, oh, well, there's probably going to be 3 more houses, or, you know, more of this. And they just kind of came up with one design and that's it. But anyway, this is a series and they're not the same stitch count. All right, then Let It Snow. Of course, it's my favorite because I have a lot of snowmen and I just love that it's under the cloche. And I have a lot of these bottle brush trees that I bought over the past couple years at the chain stores. So kind of looks like my display already. And then Peace and Goodwill is also calling my name because of the reindeer. But look how many different spots you can take out of this sampler to do as a separate little picture or even an ornament. So those are really nice. Okay, then let's see. I have some extra time. I wasn't sure how much to plan because I didn't know how long the Halloween video was going to be at the end. I had 4 customers that sent me photos, multiple photos of their Halloween stitching. But you know, between the 4 of them, it was a lot for them, but it wasn't a lot total. So I think it's 4.5 minutes or something like that at the end. So I'm watching the time to make sure I don't go over. So I'm going to show you some other Halloween charts that came. I'll save some of the other new stuff for next week, but by next Sunday, Halloween will be over. So then these will seem old. So I want to show them to you now. And maybe you can start planning your Halloween stitching for next year or on the 13th and 31st of the month, as some people do. And remember to send me photos next year. In fact, do what I do. And when you take photos, put them in a separate photo album, mark yours just stitching, and then you'll remember, because I would like to cover all the holidays eventually. But I think Halloween and Christmas and Patriotic are really fun to do, so I'll probably keep repeating those. But anyway, if you think about it, while your Halloween is still up, take some photos. Alrighty. We have Witches Wander from Erica Michaels. Candy Corn and Friends from Homespun Elegance. In My Halloween Garden, which is a biscornu from Jardin Privé, but they could also be little individual ornaments. Trick or Treat from Leela's Studio. And then 2 from Madame Chantilly. Here's another one that's in a cloche. I just love that little village on a hill. It's so cute. And there's a lot of really nice gray fabrics that would look good on. And then there's 6 designs in this Halloween Pillows book. Stitchy Prose has Halloween Puns 2. One of these days, I'm going to stitch a pun. I love all of hers. I need to decide which holiday or season I want to do. And then from Hello from Liz Matthews, Boo Spook Haunt. And October Quakers. And then from Rebel Stitcher, Halloween is My Love Language. And Tiny Modernist has the Pumpkin Coach and Trick or Treat. I love this one. And this would look really good on Murky or Bayou. She did hers on Vesuvius by Seraphim, but it would also look good on Vintage Stormy Night. Anyway, I love that one. I may have to do that one for next year. I like it because there's not a whole bunch of colors. I'm not opposed to orange, but this just appeals to me because I feel like it would look better in my house. I do have orange, obviously, in my other Halloween designs, but it's not, I don't think it's a predominant color, if I can remember my pictures from last year. I like to do a lot of black and gray, and I love a one-color design, of course. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here, and what I'd like you to do is tell me your favorite Halloween candy, and I'll put you in the drawing next time for this kit. This did not come in the Bent Creek consignment merchandise because we didn't have a model of this. It was a leftover kit from whenever it came out, and I looked, and did it say 2016? I've already forgotten. Anyway, we had one left. It didn't sell during the tour or any other time this month when we had it out, and so rather than hang on to it, I'm going to give it to you, and maybe I'll see it next year in the Halloween video. So it comes with all the supplies to make that little ornament. You get the wool for the backing, you get the the metal circle to mount it on, and the thread and the buttons. So it's a value of $24. My favorite Halloween candy is usually, well, actually mine and my husband's. If you had to twist our arms, it would probably be the little miniature Heath bars. I think I've mentioned this before because the only time you can find them is around Halloween. Otherwise, you have to buy the bigger bars. And I like the minis. I like the little treat. But my husband's been buying dark chocolate Reese's peanut butter cups, the miniatures. I want to say for a couple months now. They keep having them on sale, and I can't remember what grocery store or drugstore they have them at. But he goes, "Do you like them?" And I go, "I love them. I mean, I like the regular ones too, but there's something about the dark chocolate that's just extra special." And as long as they're on sale, he just keeps buying them, and he likes them too. So maybe that took over. We actually had no Heath bars this year. So anyway, tell me your favorite Halloween candy. And yeah, we'll see you next week with some more new stuff, maybe some stitching. I haven't been stitching for multiple reasons, but hopefully I'll come up with something to show you again next Sunday. And please enjoy the viewer submission Halloween video at the end, and let me know if there's anything in there you're interested in. I just found out that one of them is an older chart, but it's still available. So it's always good to ask before you say, "Oh, darn, I don't think I can get that one." You can always find some place to, to order it from, or find it on the secondary marketplace. But anyway, I do try to help. I do a lot of research. I try to know before I show something how hard it is to get. So anyway, enjoy and happy Halloween. Bye.